A bright morning at Barca's Ciutat, Esportiva Joan Gamper sees the roar of determination echoing through the halls. Because this summer Barcelona didn't just sign another prospect, they crafted a blueprint for stardom. Sport latest report reveals that Roony Bardghji, the Swedish sensation with a swagger beyond his years, has a carefully plotted roadmap for his 2025-26 journey. Imagine architects spread around a table, tracing each footstep the youngster will take, deciding when he'll forge his skills on the grandest stages. After cutting his teeth alongside Hansi Flick's first team squad in those crucial early weeks of pre-season, the club's hierarchy convened to ask, what's next for our rising star? And so, under the watchful eyes of coach and director, a plan emerged, one designed to sculpt Bardghji from promising rookie into bona fide Barca asset. What comes after these initial sketches? Stay with us, because the evaluation process sets the scene for a dramatic ascent. Picture Flick and Deco like seasoned chefs in the Barca kitchen, stirring together a blend of youth and experience. In those opening sessions, every touch, sprint and snapshot of footballing flair was tasted and judged. Deco, Barcelona's sporting director, and Flick, the man at the training helm, sifted through a buffet of promising teenagers and up-and-comers trying to resist the urge to overindulge any one talent. The real trick, like balancing spices to avoid a bitter stew, was giving each player their moment in the sun without overwhelming the squad's harmony. Then along came Bardghji, shining brighter than the rest, forcing them to pause. While many youngsters jostle for attention, his blend of composure and fire called for its own recipe. How would they blend him into the mix without spoiling the larger concoction? The answer lay in a bespoke development strategy tailored just for him, one that we'll unpack next, revealing exactly how Barcelona plans to nurture this gem without rushing him. From the first whistle, Roony Bardghji moved through the drills with the poise of a veteran. Observers noted the sharp pivot of his feet, the laser focus in his eyes, the easy way he slotted in with senior pros who tower over him in both age and experience. He greeted each drill like an old friend, chatting as comfortably with Flick's trusted lieutenants as he did with fellow teenagers. Deco and Flick, usually cautious with praise, found themselves exchanging nods. They both saw it. This kid wasn't just talented, he was mentally tough. He laughed when things went right, learned quickly when they didn't, and never once let nerves steal his sharpness. At a club where the gulf between promise and superstardom can be yawning, Bardghji bridged it effortlessly. Yet despite glowing reviews, Barcelona resisted the temptation to catapult him onto the biggest stage immediately. Their conviction? He's ready, but only with the right support system. Next, we'll explore how they structured that support, ensuring he gets top-level seasoning without burning out. Imagine Bardghji's journey mapped out like a railway, with two parallel tracks weaving toward greatness. On one line, he'll officially don the Barca Athletic jersey, keeping him firmly grounded in competitive fixtures where the stakes remain high, but the pressure is measured. On the other, he'll pace alongside the first-team stars at every dawn workout, sharing drills, locker room banter, and tactical briefs. This dual registration means he can drop into reserve matches to sharpen his instincts, then rise to La Liga and Champions League preparations under Flick's direct supervision. It's a dynamic dance. If the reserve side needs a spark, he'll light up that pitch, yet at any moment he can pivot into the senior fold, soaking up lessons from Sergio Busquets one day and learning positional nuance from Robert Lewandowski the next. The club's motto, "Serve the present, build for the future," was engraved into this plan, ensuring Bardghji benefits from the best of both worlds. But how does Flick envision these minutes turning into milestones? The next section peels back the curtain on his big season forecast. Hansi Flick stands before a board brimming with fixtures, weekends in La Liga, midweek nights in Europe, cup ties that demand fresh legs and fearless hearts. He's convinced Bardghji can notch meaningful minutes across these battlegrounds, evolving from cameo appearances to clutch contributions. Flick's confidence is rooted in the season's demands, a grueling calendar where depth isn't optional, it's survival. By slotting Bardghji into calculated scenarios, perhaps a late substitution when the crowd thunders, or a strategic start in a lower-stakes Copa match, the manager aims to temper his talents in the crucible of real competition. But the vision stretches beyond immediate gains. It's about patience, pedagogy and providence. Every sprint up the flank, every precise through ball and every defensive scramble is a brick in the cathedral of his career. Barcelona isn't merely chasing today's trophies. They're architecting a dynasty, laying foundations with youngsters like Bardghji at its heart. And if all goes to plan, by season's end, we won't just see a volatile prospect. We'll witness the birth of a true Blaugrana legend. Stay tuned for the first chapter of Roony Bardghji's Barça saga, a story where every training session echoes with possibility and every whistle could signal the start of footballing history.